Welcome back to Let's Get Tipsy.
I'm Priscilla.
I'm Fernando. And this is a podcast where we get a little bit tipsy, talk about random topics because
we can.
Because we can.
So, Fernando, what did you do this week?
Well, this week was my birthday.
Whoa!
Didn't really do much. We stayed at home and my mom made tacos. So that was really nice. And yeah, my sister got me a gift, but it didn't arrive yet.
No.
Well, by this point, it did arrive. It just arrived today.
What did she get you?
She got me a vinyl of the Peso Pluma Genesis album.
Oh, cute.
And she's going to put it in like a shadow box with our little like lanyard things that they gave us.
Oh.
So that's really nice. And then... that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was my mom's birthday. So we went out to eat for that. And then, well, actually starting Monday, it was my niece's birthday. Because everyone decided to line up. Because it's my niece's and my cousin's birthday on the 27th. Mine and my brother's on the 28th. And then my mom's on the 30th.
November, October, September, August, July. They got busy that June, huh?
I guess so. Yeah, and then I have another cousin that's also in January, but earlier in the month. Yeah. And then my grandma was also like the 21st.
Oh, it was your brother's birthday too.
Yeah.
What did you get him?
I didn't get him anything. We usually don't, because for usually for Christmas we give each other a gift, so we're like, that's good enough. So I didn't get him anything. He didn't get me anything because we, like I said, we normally don't. There was one year that I went all out for Christmas, and I guess he felt kind of bad, so he actually got me a birthday gift. I was like, you ain't getting me nothing, and I'm not gonna get you, like, if you give me something, I'm gonna give you something back. So I think that same day or the next day I went out and bought him something. I was like, here you go. But yeah.
What did you give him that required him, like, that gave him the incentive to go buy you a gift?
That year, because we do the Secret Santa or like gift exchange. So I just so happened to pull his name. So I bought him some like pretty nice work boots. Which I don't think he uses them for work. I think he just uses them like for just like dressing up. Yeah. Nice. And then at the same time, his actual gift was, well, for some reason I made it a tradition of getting him. It's very specific, a Patagonia like fleece sweater, and those are pretty expensive too. So I had bought him that year too, and I bought him one this year too because I was like, it's just tradition. Well, last year. I bought him that, but then I also bought him like a Milwaukee drill because he randomly wanted a drill, and I was like, sure. So I bought him that year, and then I forgot what he got me a cologne that year for my gift. So then for when it was our birthday, I guess I gave him so much that he was like, okay, let me get him something. But I still ended up buying him like a little something afterwards. But yeah, nothing crazy going on. We literally, our birthday, we ate at home. My niece's birthday, we went to my sister's house because she made food. And then for my mom's birthday, we just went out to go eat.
Did I text you at like close to midnight, or did I like spend the whole day and then text you randomly?
Not the whole day. I think it was like I forgot what time it was, but it was like earlier in the day, okay. I think.
Because I kept remembering, and I was like, well, I was off work that day, and I was like, there's something I had to do. And I'm so bad at texting people for their birthdays. Like,
I am too.
Stacy texted her like 3 days later. And I was like, geez. But then again, I don't mind when people like don't text me on time for my birthday. Like I had a friend that texted me like 2 days before, and they were like, happy birthday, Priscilla. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
It was like 3 days before my birthday, but I was like, he landed on the somewhat mark.
Yeah, that's how my aunt literally just texted me today. She was like, happy birthday. She was like, I don't know if it was today or the 28th. I got it mixed up, but if it was, then happy birthday. If it's now, then double happy birthday.
She's so over for that.
I was like, well, at least she remembered, because she usually just sends me like a voice memo with like just like her giving me a message, and I was like, it's so sweet. But yeah, she missed a couple of days, but that's fine. I mean, she still got it. Yeah. It still landed during the time.
What the heck did I do? Tuesday, I was off. I slept all day.
That was me today.
Today, then I worked all week. I found a sketchy book online and on a sketchy website, and they got taken down. So I don't know what to do with my time. I was already invested 90 chapters in. Then the website disappeared because it was a bootleg website of a bootleg book. So I'm just gonna I guess I'm not gonna read that anymore.
That's like, we were just talking about it before the podcast, but I was telling her it's literally like those TikToks of the random like storylines, and it's like a ad for like some kind of app. I forgot what it's called, like Shadowbox or something. I don't know. And literally it always cuts off, like it's long.
It's like 10 minutes long.
I think it is. I think it uses up the full 10 minutes. And then literally it always cuts off like at the good part, if you will, but it's not crazy acting. It's not like crazy.
It's a bad story.
It's a bad story, but it like gets me, and I'm like, I want to watch the rest of it, but I'm not about to pay for no app.
And it is so typical. It's like, oh, she's the richest girl in the world.
Yeah. It's always that one.
And she's showing them. She's down to really show them. And then they find out that she's the richest girl in the world after they ridiculed her. And it's like, oh, what's going to happen next? I don't get the point. I don't know why.
Because every time it's like the same storyline, but now suddenly she's wearing a different dress. Or like it's like in a different scenario. It almost, sometimes it goes into the future. Like it'll be like, oh, and this happened. And then, but you remember how this happened? And then it repeats the whole the whole story again. And I still watch it. Like I didn't just watch it. But because I'm like, maybe this time they'll give us more.
Capitalism, man. They just want to get you.
They want me to get the app, but I'm not going to.
I went into Fernando's work, and it was very I hate going into my friends' workplaces because they're my friends. What do you mean I have to treat them like a customer? What do you mean they have to treat me like a customer? Like, do you want your receipt? Shut up. Don't ask me that. Like, since when are we like this?
Yeah, you have to hear the customer service voice.
You're right. No, literally, I know good and well. I started yapping to his coworker, and I was like, "My name is Priscilla." And now Fernando was like, "This fake ass. What kind of voice is that? You know good and well your voice is not like that."
Where I was working like semi the back, and then I have like a bunch of totes in front of me. So I literally just heard, it's Priscilla, and I was like, oh, she's here.
But he returned the favor not too long after.
No. But yeah, I pulled up to her job. Was it that same day, or was it?
I think it might have been the same day.
It might have been.
It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday.
And then I saw her in the back. I was like, hey. And then her coworker was like, we're about to tweet out. I was like, why? And then she was like, oh, because it's like really busy. Meanwhile, Priscilla said she was just chilling. I
was having a great time. I found out that my body doesn't like to sleep 15 hours a night.
Oh, mine either.
Like, whenever I cut it down and I fall asleep super late like I usually do and wake up at a decent time, turns out the body isn't made to hibernate for half of the day. Turns out 6 hours is plenty.
6 hours is plenty.
Because lately I've been going into work like, yeah, this is my job. I mean, why am I going to complain for people coming in? When usually anybody walks in the door, I'm like, why? What are you doing here? Do you not have anything better to do?
Literally me too.
But now it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting paid for. Duh.
Yeah.
But I was in the back, and right before Fernando, one of my other friends came in, and I said hi to him. And then my boss goes, isn't that your friend? And I'm like, yeah, you know him, duh. And she was like, no, like the twin. And I turn around and I'm like, oh my God, that's Fernando too.
Yeah, because I saw him too, and I walked in and I saw because he was with someone else. But you want to say something?
No, because I walked back to the front and Chibi's like, bro, tell me why I go to the front and your friends are having a freaking reunion out there. Brian went. Literally. Brian goes, you still got that Tesla? Fernando went, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, because it caught me so off guard because I walk in and they were like in front of me. And then I'm just like looking down. I think I was on my phone or something. Mm-mm. And then he turned around and he was like, oh, Fernando. And then I was like, who are you? And then I was like, oh my God, it's Brian. I was like, whoa. I did not, like, that's so random. Like, I did not expect that. And then, yeah, he was like asking me a question. I was like, yeah. But I didn't know. I was like, what do I ask? Like,
no, Chibi was tweaking out because she was like, bro, dang, anybody else from your high school want to come? Anybody else, any more customers? And I'm like,
yeah, I think okay. she was like tweaking out.
I think she might have been.
But yeah, it was crazy because I was like, oh, I didn't expect him to be like, I didn't expect to see him. And then I was like, oh, and then Priscilla's here, and then Chibi was there too. So I was like, oh my God, everyone's here.
No, I hate. I was talking to my coworker the other day too, and she was like, oh yeah, when I listened to your podcast, and I was like, shut up. Shut up. Don't stop. And I get the whole point is to have people listen to it, but why you? I know you personally.
Yeah, because he asked me to. He's like, oh, how's the podcast going? And I was like, good. like, what do I say? Oh my God, it's great. Like, this is what's going. Like, what do I say?
On the topics about last week.
Run down the list.
Don't subscribe.
But yeah, because I was also had like my cousins and.
Oh really?
Like my one of my aunts being like, oh, I seen that you've been on like doing a podcast or something. And I was like, yeah.
Because I am, but what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, like what am I gonna bring up?
Like
oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, last week's episode. Like, come on.
Yeah, so I'm always like, what do like when they ask about that, I'm like, what do I even say? Like
exactly, because I think every time I see Brian, he goes, "How's the podcast going?" God.
Like, it's nice that he asked, though, but, like, what else are you going to, like, what other input do you give him?
I mean, he follows us anyway, so he knows what's going on in there.
Oh, hey, Brian.
We changed locations.
I'm not good at conversating, so I was like, yeah.
I'm good at faking it till I make it.
That's what I was like, do I just bring up a random question or no? Does it seem disrespectful if I don't ask a question?
I carry my vape. That's the problem. I have a vape. Wow. That's so tragic. My lungs are screwed anyway. But I carry it in a lanyard. Yes. It's ridiculous. I know. But whenever I see anybody, they're like, wow, you have your vape on a lanyard? Yes. Mind your business. At least I won't lose it.
At least you won't lose it.
The one time
that is true, because...
The one time I tried not to be ridiculous with it and carried my vape around, I lost it in Fernando's yard. Got ran over. The poor thing was just laying out there, screen cracked and everything. It was brand new. I mourned that for like a month.
That's crazy.
I was like, I don't deserve another vape. And then I went to buy one week later. Yeah, that's the story. I have a lanyard on my vape. Yeah, it might be a problem, but it's fine. Anywho, but no, me and Fernando were having trouble thinking of topics to talk about today because we feel like we covered everything, which is crazy because whenever we talk outside of the podcast, we don't shut up.
Yeah, because the podcast, it ends, but then we still have like a separate podcast, like sitting on the couch watching a show, and then we randomly are like, oh my God, this and that.
Like, I know Mike hates us because he's always in the room with us. We're all sitting on the couch, we're watching anime or something, and then every like good 2 to 3 minutes, me and Fernando, typically I start off.
Yeah.
I love pausing. I pause the show and I start yapping about God knows what. Then Mike would go, haven't you talked for like 2 hours? Okay, yeah. I still have more to say.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But then sometimes it's about this show. Sometimes it starts with the show and then it leads off to something else.
And some things aren't podcast appropriate, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, but we're literally like, in that scenario, we're like, why can't we yap like this on the podcast?
Exactly. If only we could. Or right before the podcast, we have a pre-podcast.
Yeah.
And we're yapping, and it's like the dramatics are there. It's like a perfect conversation. It's so funny. And then I'm like, why do we talk?
Why do we talk?
Why do we talk before the podcast? We should just shut up our mouth until we start it. The cameras, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. Be like, hey, Priscilla, and that's it.
Yeah, like just, hey, zip.
Zip.
No, we were looking at topics because, like I said, we were like, okay, let's see on Google. And everything that came up was just ridiculous. And I had a rebuttal for everything that I could see. Because the first link, 75 podcast ideas and topics to explore in 2024. We're in 2025, thank you, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like, one of them was like, product reviews. What are we going to review? Advice. Bro, my life is a mess.
Exactly.
What do I have to say?
I don't think we're the ones to give out advice, so.
We could try, but once your life falls apart, then that's really not on us, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was podcast about podcasting. We barely know what we're doing sometimes. We're just kind of hoping for the best.
Podcast about podcasting. Like, what do you even bring up about that topic?
Outdoors and survival. We were fighting for our lives. The one time we had to take his car out of the mud. And, like, I tried to get my mom to help us. And she was like, what do you want me to do? And then I realized we're adults. Like, it sounds so bad and so dumb. Like, I know we're adults. But sometimes I need an adultier adult.
Adultier adult. Yeah, because we were literally, like, clueless. Like, we had the idea, but we were like, now what?
Like, I don't have a crane. I don't have a truck. What am I going to do?
A crane?
Like, come on.
Just picturing us getting a crane.
Like, it was kind of like we had to get it out, but
yeah, like,
how?
Like, and then Mike was not answering, so we couldn't rely on Mike's help to be like, oh, you should do this or what. But then even when he got here, he was like, oh, I would have just left it there. Until it, like, hardened up or something. I don't know.
But also, go back to the story when we were in Charlotte and it took us 3 people to patch a tire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not going to be talking about the outdoors.
No.
I barely make it out there for a quick walk. Come on.
For a quick walk.
I was wearing heels. This one time Mike had me trekking through a forest to go fishing. It was a 20-minute walk. It was in the middle of the dark. And I was like, what about the ghost?
What about the ghost?
And he was like, why would you bring that up? Now I'm thinking about it. And I was like, do you not think about it all the time? Because my mom was going outside to take a walk in the middle of the night. And I was like, really? And she was like, why wouldn't I? And I was like, because there's ghosts out there. And she was like,
there's ghosts out there.
Why would you bring that energy? Why would you even say that?
Not people, not animals, ghosts.
That'd be my concern. Because people, like, you know what? I should be worried about better things. Now that I think about it. Tech reviews. Fernando knows tech, but I think we've said how I do whenever you talk tech.
Yeah, if it was tech, you would have to bring Mike in here, and then we can have a yap session about that. But you would just be like, yeah.
Great, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
As you should.
We ain't about to do a tech review.
Book recommendations. I have very, very, very terrible taste.
In books?
No. But yeah.
No.
There's some good ones that I like, but I like the tropiest, most expected, obnoxious. Sometimes I question why I read them, but I'm like, I enjoy the trash a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Like, I sometimes I'm in too deep. I'm like 100 chapters in, and I'm like, I actually hate this. But I already invested like days of my life into it, so I was like, I have to finish it now.
Might as well, yeah.
Local news and events. So, planes have been crashing.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, I saw a comment like, are they covering something up? Like, is something else going on that we don't know about?
I mean, 2 planes in like 3 days is crazy.
Yeah, and then I saw something, but I didn't see any news about it, that there was another one that happened in Santa Barbara, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? But yeah,
don't ride on planes, guys.
Don't ride on planes for the meantime.
Like, that's the best I can say. Well, alternative living. Like, if I remember that lately I've been thinking a lot about how people have their whole lives destroyed. Like, their closest family member passes away and they have to find a life like without them, or like they get the house taken away and now they have to figure out how to get another one and be homeless for a little bit, or like live in someone's couch, or like their car stops running and they don't have another car just available and they don't have the money for a car, and now they're like trying to figure that out. People that lose their like job that they've been at for 20 years. People have real problems. And then like I have to replace my tires and I have to ask a day off of work, and all of a sudden my life is over. And then I realize maybe my problems aren't as deep as I think they are sometimes. Maybe I'm a little bit dramatic. And that was a crazy realization.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy because, I mean, some people are going through a lot worse, but, I mean, at that point in time for you, it seems like it's the worst for you.
But I feel like when you figure it out when you're there, you know?
Yeah, I feel like when you get to that point, you figure it out.
There's worse things that can happen, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Paranormal activities, we already talked about that. Self-help, help me.
Help me.
Help me. Ooh, have you seen those like cave diving videos on TikTok?
Not a lot, I don't think. Like, I know I've seen the ones making memes about it, but
a lot of things I see about them is like the best part about rock diving is that you don't have to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I see whenever that meme comes up, it's like, you know what, guys, the best thing is that you don't have to do it. And I totally agree, because I would never.
Like, you find joy being crammed in a rock that could fall on you at any point in time.
And let's not even talk about the critters that are probably in there.
Bro, I tweak out over critters. I realize I'm probably like an insectophobe.
Insectophobe.
Like, all bugs freak me out to a point where it's kind of like embarrassing.
Really?
Yes, because like I can see a spider and realistically I know that what is it gonna do? Bite me? Okay, modern medicine. But my brain tells me that this little like half-an-inch spider is actually gonna end my life, and I can't approach it.
You can't approach it. Yeah, that is kind of wild. How? Because I know, because we covered it in the last episode too. Whereas, like, if it's a mouse, like, if it's running at me, yeah, I'm about to be scared.
I mentioned how I had a day off of work, and I was just, lounging around my house, and I saw a wasp. And I was like, oh, no. Because my cat was out. And she saw the wasp, too. And my cat wanted to play with the wasp.
Oh, no.
And I was like, my initial plan was I'll just let it be and tell Mike to stop by here on the way home.
And he'll take care of it.
Yes. But I was like, if my cat's going to try to catch it, she's going to get bitten.
Yeah.
I'd rather get bitten myself. Mind you, I've never gotten, stung.
Oh, I was about to ask. I have. By a wasp.
Never. By nothing. I've never gotten stung by anything.
Oh, God.
No wasp. No bee. No spider has bothered me. The closest thing to that is an ant. That's the worst thing I've had.
No, I had a wasp bite one time when I was, like, young, like, little. I don't even remember how old I was. I was walking back into the house, and then the porch that we had at the time, it had, like, a wasp nest underneath it. And me, for some reason, I was barefoot outside. And then I was walking back inside to the porch, and then I got stung by a wasp. And I literally, like, I was on the porch, and it was, like, fenced-in porch. I jumped over the fence because I was, like, screaming. I can't remember, like, what else happened, but, yeah, I was, like, it hurt a lot. Obviously, it's a wasp, but, yeah, after that, they actually finally took the wasp nest down.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to find out, but I was tweaking because I was like, I'd rather be me than my cat, as terrified as I am. But I was like, so what am I supposed to do? I looked at it, and it looked at me, and I looked at it, and it looked at me. And every time it would move, I would start jumping around. And I kept screaming at my cat, stop trying to get it. I was like freaking out, and I was like, cats, get off of the couch. Stop trying to get the wasp. Stop. And I was like, Raid. There's got to be Raid somewhere in this house. So I start running around, find Raid, and I'm like, what shoe am I going to use? I don't have, like, sandals laying around. Where am I? I find the first shoe that I find that's kind of like a proper shoe that I can use. that's not a heel or a platform or a
Oh,
random shoe.
Yeah.
And I look at it with both weapons in my hand, and I'm like, now what?
No, what?
What if I spray it and it starts tweaking out on me and starts chasing me? What am I gonna do?
It starts chasing you.
And my cat is still just wondering what the hell I'm doing because she's wanting to play with the wasp.
Oh my god.
So I spray it and it starts tweaking out. It starts jumping around and moving, and I was like, oh my god, now his movements are unpredictable. What am I gonna do?
Are unpredictable.
And at this point, my
God.
cat finally runs away because she doesn't like spraying stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, point is, I get it down on the ground, and it's tweaking down on the ground, but I'm scared, so I throw the shoe at it. And I'm like, okay, it's still alive. The shoe did nothing. What am I gonna do? Because now it's on the floor, and cat has more access to it. So now I'm like throwing things at it until something lands on it, and I grab something else to like push the thing down. And point is, the wasp died. But then I grabbed gloves and like 3 sets of napkins and like a plastic bag in order to contain it. Like now it's dead body that I was still scared of.
Oh my god.
So
That's
please
crazy.
do not ever ask me to kill a spider. I will burn the house down. I promise you that much.
Okay, a spider I can do. A mouse, we're screwed. Like, get mouse traps. That'll take care of it.
Mike has grabbed the mouse. He pisses me off.
I mean, if it was a tame one, but not like
A
random.
tame one?
Yeah,
What
like
kind of mouses are tame?
I don't know. Like some people have like mouses as pets. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
Like maybe that, but like a random mouse. No, thanks.
No, I was tweaking out because Kat was playing with the mouse, and I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Is that real or is that fake?" Because I wasn't wearing my glasses. So, and she has a lot of mouse toys, so I was just looking at it, and I was like, "Kat, is that a?" Then it started moving, and I screamed as if it was like a 6-foot monster chasing after me, and I scream out, "Kat!" Run to my room, and I call Mike, and I'm like, "Come take this out." Come take it. Oh, I'm freaking out. He's like, what's going on? Cat is playing with a mouse right now. And he's like, really? Yes, really. What do you mean, really? Do not minimize my fears right now. He comes over, grabs the mouse, and puts it outside.
What the? See, I couldn't do all of that. Not even. I mean, a spider, not even, because we had one at work too. One time, and then my manager was like, go get it, and my instinct was like, oh, I'm gonna just smush it because it's inside. And then my other coworker was like, don't you dare. He was like, if you're gonna smush it, let me just take care of it. And then he got picked it up and put it outside.
William,
He literally just picked it up and put it outside, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching it, but
God bless those brave souls, I guess.
yeah.
Because I'm not one of them.
Because as soon as it starts crawling up, oh,
The world is ending, I promise.
the word is.
I almost crashed my car when the spider was in there.
Oh yeah.
Ran out, left my phone behind, left the car running, jumped out, fell on my knees, about to start begging.
Oh my god.
It's awful. It's a problem. It's honestly a problem.
It's a problem.
So we're gonna go back to the segment that we said we were gonna try to keep doing. We're gonna play the game. In case you don't know the game, first of all, you lost the game. Second of all, it's a game where we think of a word, we put it on the screen. You can play along if you close your eyes for long enough. But he asks yes or no questions, or I ask yes or no questions, and he narrows it down to one item that we showed, whether it's a concept, an idea, or a tangible item.
Yeah.
That's literally it, right?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Who
So,
goes first?
you want to go first? I went first last time.
Okay, that's fine. I am not gonna make it complicated because I was about to do the color pink.
Oh my god.
And I feel like he would have tweaked out with the answers. I already see it. Is it tangible? Not necessarily.
Oh,
Is it in the
God.
periodic table? Sometimes. Is it in the room? Yeah. Is it in my room? Depends. So, maybe I'm not.
Maybe not.
Okay. I'm going to put it on the screen.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I'm putting it on the screen right now. So if you want to play, close your eyes, I guess. And if you're listening, then you have no choice but to play. Okay, it's off the screen now.
Okay, so do I start?
Yes, ask questions.
Is it tangible?
Yeah.
Is it alive?
Yeah.
Is it an animal?
No.
Is it a person?
Yes.
Is it someone that we know?
No.
Is it a famous person?
Yes.
Is it an artist?
Yes.
Okay. Do they make typically music in Spanish?
No.
Typically music in English then?
Yes.
Okay. Is it someone that is on my playlist?
It should be.
It should be. I guess I never asked. Is it a guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Have they made like music in the last year?
Yeah.
Do they have black hair?
Yeah.
It's an artist. Do they have tattoos?
No, or at least none that are like typically visible.
Okay. Anytime it comes up to artists, my brain blinks out and I'm like,
Who makes music?
who do I listen to?
I want you to know that you in the future is probably gonna hate me.
Oh God. You always say that.
Do you give up? Do you give up? Do you give up? Do you give up? Do you give up?
Can I peek on my playlist?
Well, let me see your playlist to make sure if you have them in the playlist or not.
Okay.
Oh. JK, you don't have them on your playlist, but you should know the artist. I'm glad that
That cleared it up. Okay, so he's not in my playlist. No. Completely gone.
But you know him.
I know him.
For sure. You've heard his name in the last like 2 weeks.
In the last 2 weeks?
For sure. Do you give up? Or do you want to ask for a helpline?
Would Mike know him?
Oh, for sure.
Sure, let's ask Mike.
You're a helpline. Come on.
It's the word game again. Okay, we're trying to figure out her word again. It's an artist. He's not white. He doesn't really have tattoos.
Is he Korean?
No.
Does he sing rap?
Yes.
Oh, he sings rap.
Is he Australian?
No.
Is he mainstream?
Yes.
Did he have a diss song against Drake recently?
No.
Ah, good question.
Is he from the East Coast or the West Coast?
Oh, no.
So you don't know if he's a rapper from the East Coast
Well,
or the
yeah,
West
I guess he's the West Coast, if I had to guess. But knowing me, you guys should know who this is. Because you guys know how I am.
Is it Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's Snoop Dogg again.
Close the door on your way out. That's why I said you have heard his name in the past 2 weeks.
Oh my
I
God.
love where you got it from. You guys know how I am.
You guys.
You guys
That-
know how I act.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You should have gotten that.
I draw a blank. I completely draw a blank whenever it comes to an artist. So we are doing Am I the Asshole Reddit story.
Quick run because we have 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my uncles we won't inherit anything? Before my 18 male grandma passed away, she and I had an arrangement. She gave me money to buy horror novels, and I read them to her twice a week. We spent a fair amount of time together. During one of our last sessions, she confided in me that she wanted to leave all of her money to charities, but decided to leave a college fund for my cousin, 16 female, since Uncle Henry lost a massive part of his savings through gambling. The guy thought he could never recover all he lost by making a big bet on Mike Tyson, but then Jake Paul won.
What?
So he ended up losing even more.
What the?
Grandma asked me not to tell anyone about this, and I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. When my dad and uncles found out, they reacted in different ways. Dad wasn't really surprised since Grandma was rather charitable, especially in her later years. Uncle Henry was grateful for the fun, but Uncle John was quite upset, saying that she's their mom and should have left them something. All three of them got suspicious and asked me if Grandma told me about this during one of the afternoons I spent at her place. I admitted that I knew about it, and Uncle John said I should have told him first instead of letting them find out this way. That it wouldn't hurt so much if I had time to prepare instead of being caught off guard. Is he the asshole for not telling them? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because what is his uncle going on his way to gamble his money away?
Exactly.
Bet on the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight for crying out loud. And then get mad because he didn't get any money from the grandma.
Yeah, I don't think he is because at the end of it they were like, so they had time to prepare. Prepare for what?
Exactly. Like, bro, did you just have it in your head that you were gonna get this money?
Right.
Why are you expecting so much out of your mother?
That exactly.
Like, you should be grateful. And if you wanted time to prepare, you should have had that conversation with her. Maybe if you spent some afternoons reading her some horror stories, maybe she would have told you.
You could have joined in on a session.
Exactly. That just tells me that you were a bad son and you didn't spend any time with your dying mother. So I don't think he was the asshole.
I don't think so either because I mean, yeah, like what do they expect?
Exactly. It's his fault for expecting money out of his dying mother.
Yeah.
Be so for real. He should have been taking care of her.
Also, it makes sense on her side for not giving Uncle Henry money because like he's just gonna gamble it away.
Exactly. Like if I saw my son out here betting on fights, betting all his life savings on the Jake Paul fight, I think that maybe he wasn't reliable enough to leave my inheritance to.
Yeah, because it's just literally like gonna be pointless. So no, I don't think so.
Do you want to read another one?
I'm sure.
Am I the asshole for getting fully naked in a public changing room? I'm a college student who recently took up track as a hobby. I was on the swim team throughout high school, but aside from that, haven't done any organized sports before. After practicing, most of the guys take a shower before heading to classes. I was having a chat with a couple of people of the other guys on the team and getting changed at the same time. When I pulled down my pants, one of the guys just said, "What the F, dude?" It really shocked me. I asked what the matter was. He said, "Go find a stall if I wanted to do that, or don't bother changing underwear." Now I sweat like crazy, so obviously wanted to change underwear. But the stalls were being occupied. I didn't think it was expected to wait. It's a changing room. In my experience, people change. It's not that big of a deal. We all shower after swim practice, and nobody cares in the slightest. I'm comfortable in my own body. Didn't think it was a big deal, but obviously don't want to make others uncomfortable either. I think he was the asshole in this one.
Yeah.
Like, read the room.
Because if they're just chatting away and then he just randomly...
Like, who wants to see your junk? Especially if nobody else is showing their junk.
Yeah. Because, that's pretty crazy to do. Just randomly, like, mid-conversation.
Yeah, and I guess, like, you should have asked first, too. Like, hey, like, is it cool if nobody else is changing in front of you? Like, maybe he's not, like... He's sensitive enough to ask the question... But to not read the room and see that nobody else was changing around him.
Yeah. Because, I mean, realistically, how long is it going to take for a stall to open up?
Exactly. Be patient, man. Have the conversation. I'm sorry your balls were sweaty. That's the best I can tell you.
Yeah, that one's kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel like he could have just waited. Or if he really, really wanted to change, just, like, grab a towel and, like...
Or, like, go off to a corner somewhere, but mid-conversation to drop your pants and show off your stuff. That's crazy work.
Show off your stuff.
But go off,
That is crazy work.
I feel like I wouldn't. But
I would not.
Well, I don't know. I feel like girls are kind of different. Because I've been, like, pre-gaming for parties, and girls just start changing in front of you. And, like, that's normal because we're all just kind of, yeah, we have an hour.
Yeah. I just don't see myself, like... be like, oh, I'm gonna change right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like at the very least he could have asked, like, oh, turn around right quick, or like, something.
Like, hey guys, is it cool if I just? But I'm telling you to just drop everything.
Drop everything and do it is crazy.
And like, why are you so mad? They just told you to not do that here.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna take it to Reddit to hope that they get on your side? Obviously, they're not gonna be on your side.
Yeah.
I hope not. I haven't read the comments.
Yeah. Who knows?
Either way, that's just our thoughts.
That's yeah.
Tipsy thoughts, tipsy comments.
Tipsy thoughts for sure.
So,
I think that wraps up this episode. It was a quick one, I feel.
it's okay.
It's okay though. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on all of our social medias, which are always linked down below, but it's Instagram and TikTok at Let's Get Tipsy Podcast, and
Twitter and YouTube at Let's Get Tipsy Pod.
And then if you want to follow us on our personal social medias, you can follow me at Fernando M643 and
Lovely Priscilla with 2 Y's.
And as always, it's always down there. in the description or something. You can find it if you want to, and it'll really help us and support us. So
If you don't, that's okay.
if you don't, that's fine. But yeah, I think that was it for today's episode.
Drive safely, don't drink and drive. Drink safely, that's what I meant to say. But drive safely
But
too.
also drive safely. Yeah, you never know. All right.
Sick.
Bye.
Bye.